Hello and welcome to week 8, the final week of our CMSA Esports Season 16 League of Legends. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sam VC. I will be one of the hosts tonight, and here you can see we have Soup joining us all the way back from
Yeah,
week
yeah,
1
yeah.
the last time you were here. Welcome back, Soup.
Good to be back. Let's do it. Let's run it back.
Soup, I know you've been playing in the Ruby League, and just a moment ago off stream we were talking about the jungle in a certain way. And I wanted to ask, obviously, as someone who has jungle thresh in their repertoire, have you been able to pull off jungle thresh so far this season, season 16?
I have not. No, I have not had a chance to. Sadly.
Oh, I was hoping for a war story here. I know we had talked about it so much in week 1. I think we had it teased a couple of times, but ultimately all the threshes ended up going to the bot lane.
Yeah. We just thought that that was the better choice.
Well, who knows what we'll see this evening. We've got two teams getting ready to face off tonight. Our first team, we've got Demasia's Divas. We'll be following Demasia's Divas tonight. They've got Chef Zangy on it. They've got Tender Kitty, Muzu, Rex, and Sunday. Am I saying that right? Muzu? Is that their name?
That's it. That
Correct
sounds
me.
right to me.
Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they are going to be taking on this. Oh, here the players are getting in there. I'll show the screen. As the players start to file in, they will be taking on which team? Have you found them yet? The Frisky Freljord here. Frisky Freljord with Bobs, or no, Trina, Billy, Blue Badger, Draggy, and Mom Goes Boom. What can you tell me about some of these players now that you've had the opportunity of facing off against them the last few weeks?
There's actually quite a few right away that I have not actually been able to have the chance of playing with yet. I think Blue Badger I haven't played with, and Billy and Draggy I also have not played with. I'm not sure if is is Musu a sub? Question mark. I'm not entirely sure.
You know, Musu is marked as a sub, yes.
Okay, yeah. And then I don't think I played much with Sunday either. But what I will say, Tender Kitty and Zangy, amazing players, very good at communicating, very wide champion pools, and even if you do ban them out, they're gonna pick something and they're gonna just bonk you on the head with it till they win. And then there's also Trina and Mom Goes Boom. I actually did play last week with them and the week before that. Amazing, amazing people, amazing players, really good vibe.
Trina, I think, has been on the stream every single time we've caught Ruby. Been fun to watch. So more of Trina's gameplay is clearly welcome as these teams
Can't wait.
switch sides and get started. For those for those of you watching who maybe haven't muted the tab yet because your games haven't started, I'm gonna say it all night, but I want to remind everyone: make sure you're tuning in for the Invitational, the Pearl Invitational, as voted on by you, is going to be happening next week on Tuesday, same time. And so I'm very excited to be a part of that. We've got some special things planned, so it's going to be a good time. Also, the end of the season post-season survey is out as well, and I think there's an opportunity to win some RP if you complete that. So please
Ooh.
take a second and fill that out if you have not done so already. And I'm going to keep repeating those things because I want everyone to tune in and support our invitational games over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, get sign up for that survey, win your RP prizes, and buy yourself some chests. You deserve it because we don't get the free ones anymore.
Super, you a lucky person? Have you ever won anything?
No, and even then, the most I've ever won is like $5 on a scratch card.
See, I'm the same way. I've literally never won anything like sweepstakes, like any like small lottery. I've never won anything like that. I actually okay, fun fact here. Don't know if I ever disclosed this on stream. I have a twin sister. I have a twin sister, and she got all of the luck in our family. Like we would go to something and there'd be a raffle or whatever. She would always win. I can just remember like we and I like we would never throw things. We were like that family that like, wouldn't throw anything away. So we would just have like gift baskets that we'd won, just gigantic, the baskets that you see, just like lining her room or wherever because she was always winning that. So yeah, she got all the luck. I got all the League of Legends skills, so it kind of balances out a little bit.
Let's go. Let's go. Equilibrium.
Oh. So um, one of the things I know we had talked about last time it was we were just about to start the the League of Legends 16 where Season of Noxus. I think when you were on, had we it was it the Season of Noxus yet?
Yeah.
Much as
Actually, no.
I
I
think
think we
week
briefly
1
talked about it.
we
Yeah,
were
week one. It
talking
was
about it.
just before. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's your opinion on all the new changes that have happened?
One, I do love that it's now first three kills instead of first blood. I don't know if that was touched upon at some point, if ever we did, but I'm very glad that they did that because it just made the first blood so much more important, and it made games very interesting to say the least. But I think having the first three kills, it just gives that a little bit of competition rather than just a flip of the coin situation.
I've noticed and I've been surprised at how some games like the feats of strength feats the feats it doesn't happen until like really late in the game. Like if you get to the point where you split like the first three objectives go to one side and the next three go to another side, then and
Hmm.
the first tower is just kind of like a stalemate for a while. It can be like minute 16, 17.
Mm. Yeah, and I want to say that they want to make it like around the same time as when Otacon spawns, because it's like the other big attraction going on right now. So having those two events like coincide with one another is, I guess, what they're intending to go for.
I'm I'm sorry I stopped responding for a second. Someone in chat said they couldn't hear you, and I would hate to just be talking to myself the entire night. So I was asking them if
Oh yeah,
they
hold
can
on.
hear you a little bit better. They're saying barely. So I don't know if there's a way for you to turn anything up on your end. I have you fully cranked up here on my end,
Let's see. Let me give it a try.
but we'll see. Thank you for the response there, uh, cyanide.
Okay, how's this?
Sounds better to me. Hopefully it sounds better for chat as well. We'll see, and we'll have the
Yeah,
opportunity to evaluate that.
let me know, chat. Let me know.
It looks like the teams are ready, and we're going
Ooh, here we go.
into pick ban. You can see it, I can see it, we can see it. We are ready to go.
Who
First
dares
Page Hartman
defy my will?
or
Well,
Zaggy?
it's literally like you're an oracle or something. Are there any like meta bans in Ruby that are different from the bans that we may be used to seeing if we play like in ranked?
Oh, the meta is ban everybody's one trick.
What about now? One thing though? What about Mel? What about Mel?
I surprisingly don't see it banned, but I see it first picked more often than not. So I'm not
Okay,
sure if we're gonna see that tonight again,
because that's
because we
definitely
did see a lot
been
of that.
yeah, that's been the trend in like Topaz and Pearl has been like Mel is either picked or banned almost every single game.
Oh, so it's not just Ruby.
No,
Ooh, okay. Wow. A lot of Mel being played.
I should have looked back at the tapes and seen if we have like what the actual Mel win rate is. I feel like it's fairly high though. Every time we've seen it, Mel has had a pretty good
I get
response.
it.
So, all right, first picks coming down: Cho'Gath, Ari, and Jarvan banned away by the frisky Freljord. Not too surprising there.
Hmm. They're waiting. Diana, okay, they're gonna take the Diana away from Zangy. And this is actually a good flex too. You can flex this mid or you could flex this jungle. Very strong first pick.
Now, have you seen Tender Kitty play any Diana mid?
I have not, but I would not be surprised if Tender Kitty does,
No.
because I just think that they play everything. Also assume that. Assume everybody plays everything.
Everybody plays everything? All right. Well, hopefully someone can play Mel, and I think it's still very much a triple, it's like a three-way flex for a Mel. I think that's
Yeah,
another reason why it's nice to take that off the table or get it for yourselves because you just have no idea where this Mel's gonna go.
right, right. And I guess you could even say the same for Warwick. I mean, sure, he's not spread across 3 roles, but he's spread across 2.
Yeah, I like the flexibility here from both sides in the Tom Kench here coming down. So
Right.
some good pickups so far. The only thing that I kind of feel like I know for sure are Diana and Malzahar.
Yeah. Actually, this does beg the question now. If you have this flex Tom Kench, would we actually see the Senna? Is Senna Tom Kench still as strong as it's been in the past?
We
Because at least personally, I haven't seen it.
No, and I thought we were gonna see it on stream the other week, but ended up Tom pulling a fake out and going up to the top lane after all that. And I just heard someone following. Thank you very much, Tentacles for Daddy, for following.
Woo! Go Daddy! Inevitable. Cillian banned away here. So they think that this is the Tom Kench top, I think.
Yeah, especially with the Leona pick, it kind of because Leona definitely likes to go against Mel. Not one of her better matchups. And so heisting that away, I don't know if that's indicating that they want to try to take Mel bot lane or if they're just trying to guard for their solo lane pickups.
Probably. That seems like the safer option for them, especially once you see the other
My
side's picks and
genius
you
will
see
be
like
understood
the
eventually.
potential flexibility from the Tom Kench and the Diana.
ADC here coming out for Demasia's Divas. I'm curious who they'll pick up. Got to assume that it's that you could very well be up against a Mel Leona, or it's still a flex.
It is still a flex, and they are very beefy on this red side. So they will definitely need a champion that shreds, or at least tank busts. And Tristana is good for that.
Tristana has been my one trick the last few weeks, and so I'm excited to see this Tristana play.
Let's go. You gotta do us proud, do us proud.
Tristana Janna.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm intrigued here. It definitely feels like you're gonna play this Tristana to scale, build some tank busting in, and there's Samira
Samira.
Leona in presumably that bot lane. I certainly know Tender Kitty to play Samira, and so it could be
Ooh.
flexing either I've seen it mid, but Tender Kitty could go bot and play that Samira, or even take it mid, or throwing me a curveball and just playing the Mel. So we shall see.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I actually love this Janna pick when you have these big bodies that want to be right in your face, and then Janna has definitely has the tools to make sure that she can keep them away from her allies.
So looking at these teams, is there anything you can tell me either about how they want to play this game out or how they want to try to navigate this and win? Thank you for following Square Wave 88. Appreciate it.
Let's see. I definitely think, yeah, like you said, blue side definitely just wants to scale and get to that point where Tristana's able to very safely outrange the rest of the enemy team, or pretty much all of them, yeah. And I actually think there's a lot of potential in the Scion angle here, since you have such a strong bot lane. I would think that Warwick should focus his attention towards the bot side and then maybe have the Scion go for some proxies in top lane, since the Tahm Kench and Scion can kind of handshake in the top lane. Scion can do his proxy, and I don't think Tahm Kench is really gonna care. So yeah, I think it's mostly gonna depend on the tempo of red side here and see if they can capitalize on those advantages just to push back the the scaling from blue side.
Now, you spend most of your time in the bot lane playing in Ruby, right? Like as a
Hmm.
support. What? How do you feel about Blue Badger on this Janna, or and who is the support for Demasia's Divas?
Let's see.
I don't know about. Looks like. Oh, it looks like it could be a sub here. Perhaps. I don't know. Well, it'll be a surprise to everybody. But what can you tell me about the Blue Badger here on Janna?
Uh, let's see. Blue Badger, I have seen play a lot of mages, and
Hmm?
he is very, very good at keeping you at a range and just making sure that whoever is the enemy can never get close to him. So like I said, I definitely think that this Janna is gonna be very valuable when you combine the strengths that Janna has and Blue Badger's playstyle.
Yeah, and taking on like a Samira, a Warwick, a Leona, like a team that wants to dive and like get in your face, and Janna with just those options to reset a fight, to say no, you're not coming towards my team is going to be quite valuable, I feel, for Frisky Freljord.
Uh,
And the teams are loading in stream. I know you can't see anything right now. You'll just have to wait and see. After last week, I'm not touching anything, but B, I got to make sure that everything loads appropriately. Perfect. All right. Welcome to the Rift game.
oh no.
What's oh no?
Poor, poor Zaggy. Look at the all chat. I can't have anything this
No, no, Zangy, you're not allowed to have anything at all. Just is gonna be like that.
There could be something here. Give a little tap.
Just a little love, yeah, just a little love tap. Looks like it'll
Just a
be
little love tap.
fairly straightforward across the board here. Muzu doesn't want to do anything against Trina quite yet. Rex and Sunday will be in the bot lane, so it's going to be Tender Kitty on this Mel in the mid lane. Taking on Draggy.
Oh, okay. Draggy was mid. Last time I saw they were playing AD carry. Ooh, I'm curious to see how Draggy plays mid.
That's right, says, where's Pearl Kaisa's Kittens? This week we're following Ruby. We'll be following the Demasia's Divas over the course of the night.
All right. Already, I'm loving the position here for the Leona Samira. They got to lane first, and they want to make sure that once they get level 2, if there's any opportunity to go for an engage, they can do so.
Right, that's what I'd be looking for here. If I'm Billy and Blue Badger, I'm like, okay, Samira can't do anything level 1, Leona can't do anything level 1. They're gonna try it anyway, though. Will be hitting 2 mid-fight. Mom Goes Boom hanging out, though. There's the level 2. No re-engage quite available. There it is. Zenith Blade lands. Samira's going to dive right in there on Rex. Billy's getting low. Heal comes out. Barrier comes out. A tower shot, though, taken by Sunday. So no further aggression to be had, but now a low HP ADC in the bot lane.
And that's really good for the Samira Leona here. They have not used any of their summoners yet.
Yeah, if I'm on the side of the Samira Leona here, I'm loving it. I feel like the only time we're really going to get too big of a deficit was like the early one, maybe level 2 if you get behind and lose push. But the fact they've been able to retain push and get 2 summoners, you're going to be coasting here in the bot lane.
Right, right.
Zangy trying to harass Mom Goes Boom. Pings have come down, but I don't think there's going to be any sort of a way for these teams to collapse.
He will just walk his way out of there.
Oh, Trina, though, buying some space.
Oh.
Zangy wants to come back.
Big catfish.
Yeah, I love that he's just effectively leashing this for the jungler. Smite available. Zangy trying to sniff it out. And this is still low, and it's going to be Muzu that comes down and takes it. And now having to dive away is Trina. There's a 2v2. Mom forced to flash away. They're flashing forward. Is Sion who will claim first blood to Muzu. Oh, they're going to look for the dive. Trina, that gray health is not enough, but Zangy will go down. But ultimately coming out way ahead here for Frisky Freljord.
Wow, and that is 2 kills on a Scion and double farm. I can't wait to see what this Scion can do now. And he's at 69 call stacks. Nice.
Oh, starting with the call and 2 kills. It is a dream scenario. Zenith lands. Rex gonna dive right back in. Blue Badger trying to get away, but auto attack will go down. Billy can't find a return kill onto Sunday. The Eclipse just making Leona too tanky.
I swear, Sunday is making Zenith Blade look like a point and click. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Mom Goes Boom spotted by that ward, and I love that Zangy is right here. Neither jungler gonna start right away, but look at Zangy. Oh, didn't get spotted by the Scryer's Bloom. So now looking behind, but ultimately it looks like there's no fighting quite yet.
Oh.
Sion has come down here though. Muzu from the top lane. They are fully committing to taking over this bot side of the map. Blue Badgers come up to start to continue to harass Zangy. Billy's here, is in jump range, will go forward, the bomb's gonna go down. Zangy will fall. Billy has the jump reset, gonna be able to get it out as Draggy trying to stun down Muzu, but perhaps the wrong target, but it's all 5 here to turn on this Sion, and we'll go into that zombie form. So a big turnaround here as the Frisky Freljord take the objective. Rex is here though on this Samira to score a quick little kill on the jungle, at least preventing a dragon, and now look who's back, Zangy from the grave to chase away these targets. So after all is settled, it's Demasia's Divas that has first look at this dragon.
This fight went on long enough for Zangy to respawn and come back. I love it.
So messy. Although this early, it's a slow take of the dragon, so I would anticipate Mom Goes Boom to try to make a play on the opposite side, but Tender, it does have a good push and health advantage, but not enough mana to really support anything on the top side of the map right now.
Yeah, should be fine though. Tender Kitty gets a good back here. Did we actually see who got the feats of warfare?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did we get to see who got the feats of warfare?
Oh, have the feats been claimed?
Yeah.
Oh, for warfare. No, and you know what? There's not a way to check it. as
It should
Sunday.
be in chat, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it should
Oh,
say
thank
the.
you.
Oh
So it
yeah,
went
the red team.
to
Okay.
Demasia's Divas
Mafia's
there.
Divas.
As Zangy claiming the dragon, immediately moving up here, was probably pleased to find these Void Grubs still available. Tender Kitty got the base in, so full mana, meaning full control here for the time being. Scion trying to get away, Matrina gonna be stopped! And that's gonna be death number 2 here.
And a really good roam from Tender Kitty here, making sure that him just being here gives them the numbers advantage.
Aggressive play, Muzu burning that flash yet again, and Mom will go boom there as they secure these grubs. That's 2 objectives, 1 more away for the full feats to be claimed. Oh, Zenith Fade lands. Oh, great! Tornado under the tower! The auto attack doesn't finish! I thought surely that would be it! Instead, Inferno Trigger will come through! I wish I could see exactly how much. I thought the second auto for sure would be enough. Whenever I am playing with my duo, I'm always calling out how many auto attacks I think need to be to finish the fight. And I thought for sure it was 2, but it was 3, and Sunday gets to live.
Actually, it would have been 2. It got blocked by the Samira W. Very good on Rex. Very well played. Oh man. Wow.
I did not notice that, so that's what happened. Okay, I was wondering what happened there. I did totally miss that.
And this is such a huge advantage now for Demasia's Divas, especially now that they have the grubs. Oh, okay. Oh! Very good tornado.
That was like a perfect parry there for Blue Badger.
But yeah, since you're accelerating this bot lane now with the grubs, it should be pretty easy now to siege for this tower.
Oh, and now Zangy gets to go ahead. Try to get Tender Kitty a little bit further ahead as they're pushing out the mid lane. Mom Goes Boom is here, but it's not enough. This is, you called it. I mean, certainly Tender Kitty and Zangy have a lot of games together.
Yeah. And I imagine that at least 30 seconds before this play happened, Zangy had it imagined out and had it played out in his head, and whatever he thought of just happened. One of the strengths that I definitely think Zangy has is that he can just see where a game's gonna go in about a minute or two, and if he can make something happen in that time, he'll find it. He'll make it happen.
I believe thinking ahead, the next thing here is, can you get your lanes in a position where you can secure that 3rd and final objective to score feats here? That's going to surely be the next thing these teams look for.
Yeah, and you also have this Scion who actually has the tower pretty low.
On goes Boom here to assist. Draggy also coming up, and that is 3 swings towards the top lane and no connections. So great job by Muzu to just quickly get out of there, flashing the Diana ultimate, Moonfall, and then immediately getting out of there.
And Muzu actually has his Heartsteel now, so he's gonna end up scaling much faster than Tom Kench will because he has that item first.
Yeah, those 2 early kills have been so pivotal here. And now everyone from Frisky Freljords feels the urgency around the bot side. But I don't know what they can do against Demasia's Divas right now, already pulling up to a nice gold lead and kind of ready to go. Luigi or Tender Kitty is going to see Draggy chunk him out. They'll start. Billy has jumped in onto Zangy, who's forced to flash away, gets that jump reset, and gets out of there. So a good little amount of damage onto Zangy with just the Tristana, and that's what you can do hard to face check this team too much, but if Rex and Sunday can get on top of you, it's going to go down quick. Now Tender Kitty moving down. They have 4. They have vision. It's going to be so challenging for Frisky Failure to do anything about this dragon.
Yeah, I think the one advantage here is that you don't have the Warwick ults for this dragon, so maybe they just want to think to back off of it now. And that could probably give Frisky Failure some time if maybe they can set up something near the bot side so that they can try to get prio for this dragon.
They do set it up. Billy jumping right in on Rex. Oh, but it's going to be Diana moonfalling both of them. Zangy now has healed up, going in. Fear landing on the Mom Goes Boom, who's able to get away. Flashing forward. Billy can't quite finish that one off. Now Sunday falling so low is eventually going to go down 1 for 1. Rex still ended up into the turret. So it's going to be 2 for 2 with both junglers still alive. But Warwick's got a lot more ability to heal up that HP. So that's overall, though, 2 for 2 here from between Frisky Failure and Demacia's Divas on that full commit, and it's like that parlay into a commit on Dragon for Zangy.
Yeah, and I mean, I think at least in that play, it couldn't have been played any better from the Frisky Freljords. One, blue. I have to mention it again. Blue Badger's peeling is A tier this game.
And it's after all is said and done, I'm not sure if it was the turret or the dragon, but either way, feats have been claimed. All 3 here going for Demacia's Divas.
You actually don't see that often, having all 3 feats taken from one team. Very good from Demacia's Divas, keeping Frisky Freljords on their toes and pushing any advantages that they find.
Some item completions now getting finished. You see the Leandries for this Diana. I like the Yuntal. That's for Tristana. Definitely a fan of that item on you right now, especially if you're looking to scale.
Yeah. So wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it just autos, and that's what it scales off of, up until you get the max amount of crit chance?
Correct, yeah. You just need to auto things.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a small delay, but-
Does it count against like wards and plants?
That's
not
a great
just,
question.
enemies?
It is an enemy champion. So it's autos on enemy. No, sorry. No, it's just on attack. So I suppose it would attack, work against things like that. Rexo decides, can I 1v2? And the answer is almost a yes. Ooh, the 2 turret shots though coming. I would say equalize the trade, but this Samira taking all of the HP off of the bot lane. Do you have those
Rex
void
put
drugs?
fired. I love it.
Off goes Boom, just here to hold the turret for the time being, not trying to do anything crazy. Draggy now. Alright, flash forward, and Rex will go down. That's a big shutdown here. This is only the 2nd kill for, or on to Rex here. So good little roam there by Draggy to find an opportunity to go up there against Tender Kitty.
Yeah, and the TP just make sure he gets back to lane and doesn't miss anything.
Oh, and a pause coming out here, so we will see what's up. Hopefully they get to come back here momentarily. What has been the difference so far in this game?
I definitely think that part of it is the objective control this game. Like I mentioned earlier, if Zangy is going to play out what's going to happen in the game a minute from now, he's more often right, and he'll make an opportunity to make things happen. Definitely in the games that I've played with him, if Void Grub spawns in like a minute and a half, Zangi's already communicating. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna back. I'm gonna get to grubs. Bada bing, bada boom. And by that time, a minute and a half from then, he's at grubs.
I feel like that's such a powerful skill to have, and honestly, it's not that difficult to kind of figure out if you start to think about it. Like if you have a plan for what you want to do either with your wave or what you want to do with the jungle. I mean, certainly junglers have a little bit. It's slightly more this than this than this, whereas in a lane there's some interaction. But even then, a lot of times if you're slow pushing out, if the lane state is such that you can control it, oftentimes you can communicate what you think it will be happening in one, two, three waves.
Oh, did we freeze? Oh, there we go.
We'll see. Happened happened a little bit last week, so hopefully it remains. I'm gonna stop touching things again.
Maybe a little bit of delay from the pause.
It might be a little bit delayed. As there is a full send here for the bot lane. I don't think they saw them. I couldn't toggle the camera quickly enough, but they're going to be surprised to see a Mel coming from their own turret. 1 kill, 2 kill, 4 in the bot lane here for Demacia's Divas. Now, they're trying to counter on the other side against Muzu. And, oh, come back here! As Strina removing any chance for Muzu to flash away.
Oh man, you gotta love the Tom Kench Q into the ults. Let me ask, have you ever played Pokemon Stadium?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember the mini game of the licky tongues and the buffet circle?
Yes,
and you have to
of
catch the.
course.
Whenever I see a Tom Kench use his Q and then ult immediately right after to pull him into the tongue, that's all I think about.
now that's all I'm going to be thinking about as well. Oh my god, what was the name of that mini game? I feel like they all had such catchy names. I can't remember it.
It's gonna be in my head now up until I search it up, and I must know. Pokemon Stadium mini games.
2 flashes used as oh, and Billy now flashing onto this Mel gets the reset and out, but Samira very, very close. We'll be able to just go right in there and take away the life of this whole team. A massive infernal trigger. No chance to be stopped as the Howling Gale was on cooldown. Oh, and they'll find one more. Oh, Tom, you got a lot of HP, but it's just not enough. And is that a full-on ace for Demacia's Divas?
Wow, this Samira is eating good. 11-2.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, if I'm queuing into this team next and I see this Samira pop up, I may be like, we might want to consider banning this.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes, you are right, Square Wave. It is Sushi Go Round.
Sushi
That's
Go
the name
Round.
of the
Thank you,
minigame.
Square Wave. Appreciate it.
Such a fun game. Such a fun mini game.
And they're starting up this 3rd dragon to put them on to Soul Point. They commit the teleport from Tender into the bot lane just to make sure there's no shenanigans here. They get it, they move out, and they are almost up to a 10k gold lead here in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and if they can aim for this Soul too, I think Cloud Soul is going to be really good for Demacia's Divas, especially with the Samira, since you'll get the movement speed after activating that Inferno trigger. It's just a mobile Katarina ult, nothing too crazy.
Oh, the siege is on here for Demacia's Divas. They're pushing out mid together, and now starting to take control of this top side river. Billy, though, on the opposite side of the map, does manage to get one. You are very mobile as a Tristana, but I don't know if you're getting away. Sunday gonna figure this out. Yes, you did!
Oh,
Neither
he
Bush,
did.
and look who's waiting in for that one. Well played by Sunday and Rex. They literally covered every possible option there.
And again, Sunday's just making Zenith Blade look like it's a point-and-click ability.
And that's gonna be the trigger to start this Otacon right away.
Yeah. Do we know which one this is?
I do not know. Is it? Can I get it in chat again?
It might stay. If there's like something that says like when it spawns.
Well, now we have the answer.
Ruin it. There we go.
Ruinous.
Start right-clicking. Get those flowers.
That's like when I wish I had an Urgot on my team to just insta-collect them all. I love watching all of his legs explode simultaneously on the flowers.
And they give a substantial amount of XP per.
Yeah,
Especially
I mean,
since you get that increase.
yeah, looking around. I'm actually surprised at the level, considering the gold lead, I'm surprised the level lead is not greater here. Especially after picking up that Otacon. So, I mean, the max discrepancy just one level kind of across the board with kind of equal. Biggest one there moves you up 2 levels with Scion is pretty big.
Pretty big and very rich too, especially with that extra gold from Nicole.
Billy buffering away though with the jump. So it's staying alive for the time being, but here's Zangy on the sideline trying to look for an entry point into this.
Okay, and that's gotta be very reassuring for Frisky Freljord if you know that your Tristana can definitely buffer her way, like jump buffer her way out of certain CCs, because Billy's been doing that very consistently this. Items. Warwick buys the Spirit Visage second item, and as if Warwick didn't heal enough, here's a little more.
There even more magic resistance. Just not feeling the pressure here from this Tristana, and probably rightfully so. Just a Yuntal is still kind of in that phase of scaling. You're not going to be super relevant here until you get to that 3 items. Oh, but a nice suppression there onto the Samira. That's the shutdown you need. One of the main sources of damage is here. Fights going on in 2 lanes at once. Mel trying to come around and help, but is Sunday going to be able to find a kill? Billy just kiting it out. Sunday a few autos away from death. No way you live again. You have someone in the back line here. Tom Kent's trying to pick it up. Great kiting here out of ADC on the opposite side of the fight. Eventually, Trina on the flank will find a kill. Frisky Freljord coming back, trying to win a team fight here. And it looks like, as this fight continues, Musu though will turn around onto Trina. Billy's still untouched in the background, jumping forward, can't quite find a kill. That's a lot of HP on that Scion. And a 1 team right there for Frisky Freljord. They claim a bounty. They gotta feel good about that one.
Yeah, and they can definitely get this draft now. Oh my god. And that gold lead that was almost 10k has now just been bridged by 7k now.
It's all going to be Sunday and Rex. Samira got picked, but now the hard CC is not available. Dragon, not Soul in the jungle, as the support does end up picking it up though. And it will be a rout here as vengeance has come. And the name is Rex. Oh, and Tender Kitty gets behind the team to pick up even more. 1 onto Billy.
Oh, good flash.
Oh, but just able to rebut away what that Diana wanted to do, staying alive with just a small amount of HP.
Very good flash from Tender Kitty there to get away from the Diana ult.
So, as all is told, you gotta feel good if you're Frisky Freljord with the win, with the team fight win and the dragon, but it has cost them their base, although playing passively probably would have cost them their one, at least one inhibitor anyway. So those are the kind of plays they need to continue to find if they're gonna be able to claw their way back into this one. And they're, again, upping the tempo. It's a temporary 3v2, but Muzu is here. Draggy trying to hold that CC, finds it, but it's on to the big man. But that might have been the correct target. It's once again 5v3. They have the numbers, and they'll score 3 more kills. So Frisky Freljord loving the shutdown gold here. Playing as a team.
Playing as a team, and again, anytime there's a Samira ult, or a Scion charging his Q, or a Warwick in his ult, there is a Janna ready to snuff them out.
Oh, and this is a Tom Kent's ready to snuff him out! Diving forward! Easily able to follow his Billy! That's his 3rd reset! Are you gonna score another kill? Yes, indeed, and they're starting up the Baron!
I can't believe my eyes right now. This is how League of Legends is supposed to be played. Just everybody unloads their magazines and just goes for it.
Well, Sunday and Rex want to go for it here. The Baron falling low. It's stolen, and it's a disaster. Rex is in there. Infernal Trigger stopped by Janna. It's not going to be enough though to claim. Musu's on the back line, gonna slow down this Tom. And after all is said and done, Frisky Freljord, no, pardon, Demacius Divas take on the Baron.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anybody steal a Baron before with Samira W.
That is a heartbreaking loss there. Everything was going the way of Frisky Freljord. One after another would have been a huge pickup. Massive play that just for Rex and Sunday to even go for that, and boy, they come out ahead for it.
Yeah.
That said, it has kind of stalled out this game a little bit. So like the last time we looked, this Tristana was just sitting on one item. Now that IE is done, Last Whisper looks to be kind of next in the salvo. So can they stall out for one more item until you can really start to shred? Or if you keep taking these uneven fights that they have been, you can keep on doing what you're doing here.
They should be okay here. They'll still have a good amount of time to scale. I also do want to give attention to Trina's Heartsteel. Scion got his Heartsteel way before Trina did, and they're almost even in stacks. So very good on Trina for keeping up.
And with the dragon soon to come up, it is nothing but vision control here for Demacius Divas. They know full well what is happening. And it is just dark for Frisky Freljord. They cannot go and challenge what is happening out there, which means Soul on spawn is gonna be difficult, but they're gonna face it. They don't want to give this up, so they're walking up. I love the way they're playing this. This is what you want to do, try to push out this mid lane, get a little bit of vision as best you can. I'm curious if they really want to challenge it. Looks like they do, and they will end up pushing a little too far. The jungle is here, but they didn't immediately kill Mom's Ghost Boom, which means Billy can jump forward trying to score a kill. However, buying time was all it was, and the Cloud Drake Soul has been claimed for Demacius Divas.
And that's an 07 for the Leona. She gave her life for the soul, and if you're asking me, that's very much worth it.
course, getting a 1 kill does kind of slow. Just continuing to pump the brakes here. And letting the carries inch closer and closer to 3 and 4 items where the gold lead just kind of starts to neutralize. At this point, 8,000 at 30 minutes is not nearly as bad as 10,000 and 20. And so it really feels like Frisky Freljord will have an opportunity here if they can just continue to take these uneven fights. And here it is, Trina trying to score one onto Rex, just missing, and then patiently backing up here.
Nice, good patience from Frisky Freljord there. And actually, going back to the gold deficit here, there will be a point in the game where the gold deficit doesn't entirely matter because at some point, your body's going to be full build. So I think if they can hold out the game until that happens, I'm confident that um, there is still a chance.
Billy jumping forward, but it's instead immediately going to get met with this Warwick. Blue Badger flashes the wall just to keep the carry alive. Everyone's having to flash onto Billy just to take him out. The Tristana falls. The Samira, though, still alive. And that means that Demasia's Divas will end up taking the kills and likely the game as everyone here has their eyes set on this Nexus.
And they should be able to have the time to get this. Oh,
oh, a big attempt there. They were trying to find a pick. Instead, instead it's Demasia's Divas who finds the Nexus. Congratulations, Demasia's Divas, winning it. Game number 1 here.
And what a banger to end this final week. It definitely felt like the game could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, Demasia's Divas got out to that big lead. It looked like it was just going to be a quick stomp, and then Frisky Freljord starting to claw on their way back with some wins. And they were taking risks. They when they saw what they thought was a numbers advantage, they'd go for it, and eventually it caught up with them. But overall, very, very interesting game thanks to the heroics there of the Freljord, but ultimately Demasia's Divas taking it out.
Yeah, very well played from both teams there. Very exciting game.
As
I'm glad we got to tune into this.
As I look at that, as I think about that game, one of the things that stands out to me is just the fact that Demasia's Divas did get out to such a big lead and scored like all 3 of those early feats. It just showed how dominant the movement around the map was early, the aggression was early. It was so difficult for Freljords just to kind of do anything early on.
Yeah, and I think definitely a contributing factor to that is the communication that Demasia's Divas has. Um, I would imagine their comms are very much popping. They're talking to one another. Letting each other know even the smallest details can make a very big difference. So even just something like saying that a summoner is down or there's a potential to make a play here, definitely a very valuable factor.
And Squarewave and Zangy both commenting on the crazy amounts of healing and shielding in that last fight. I thought that Billy's Tristana was dead like multiple times, and Blue Badger to the rescue. I mean, flashing the wall,
Oh my
using
God.
Monsoon, the heal, the barrier. I mean, Billy went like back up to the point, and in flashing away from after almost everything had been used. It felt like they just had the perfect amount of CC. If they'd been 1 CC shorter, that Tristana doesn't necessarily die in that fight, and we may be looking at we might still be in that game, or looking at going the other way. So it was that was very, very impressive play from Blue Badgers Janna.
Yeah, definitely an outstanding performance. There were moments where it felt like it could be doomed. And then you see a Janna flash forward and put down this humongous rainstorm that heals for so much on top of the redemption. and it doesn't seem so hopeless anymore.
I love playing with enchanters as an ADC. It's so the amount of empowering that an enchanter can do is just crazy. You feel like you feel like you can just jump into the middle of an enemy team and get away with that. And then as we saw, oftentimes you can. I mean, it is really incredible. And when I used to before I switched to ADC a while ago, but before I did, I would play support, and I loved playing enchanters because the rush you get when you're trying to read your AD carry's mind and figure out how they're about to. It feels like a toddler a lot of the time. Like they're just trying to kill themselves 24/7, and your job as Mother Hen is to make sure that they don't. And it's just the thrill of playing an enchanter of the late game.
That's all I'm gonna think about now. Is just you have a toddler, and then their legal guardian support is just out here making sure that nothing happens.
All right, so as we get ready for game number 2, let me look at who our divas are going to be taking on. It looks like both teams are loaded in and
They're
getting ready here.
facing Zon's Zaddies.
Oh, the Zaddies. Oh, and some once again some names here that are not strangers to the stream.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Can you tell me anything about these players here?
Um, Mistifer, I haven't played many games with Mistifer, but as far as I know, very good player. Um, Upset Sloth, also a very good player, has a very wide champion pool, and can also be pretty flexible. I've seen him play both AD carry and jungle, and even sometimes mid. The Star, of course, a staple to have on the stream. We love seeing the Star play. He's also a little bit of the wild card. Don't always know where he was gonna go. There was one week he played as AD carry, and then another week he played top, and then I think there was even a week he was mid for some reason. Or maybe they had swapped him to mid after playing mid or AD carry a few games. Let's see.
And if you when it comes to Star, Star will be playing in the top lane for the Ruby League Invitational in 2 weeks. And so a couple actually, we have a few uh, what is it? Invitational players right in this game here. We get a little preview of uh, Blaine or the Star here in the top lane. We'll have
Mhm.
Mystifer, who will be playing in the mid lane in the Invitational in a couple weeks. So we'll see where Mystifer, very likely to be, I think, playing mid lane on this team, but we'll see. And then Blue
Yeah.
Badger, who we saw last game, will be playing in the support role. And then you've got Zangy in the jungle. So a few to look for here as you watch this game.
Keep an eye out. 2 weeks from now, we, we gotta pay attention to how they play this week, and then in 2 weeks, let's see.
That's right.
I always loved the lobby chats. They can
It's
always be pretty entertaining.
that particular, I don't know if that emoji or series of emojis has a name. I just feel like that is like the star special. Every time they're in a lobby, I see that getting typed, and I'm just like, this is an abomination. But it's that and the fart noises that gets played on the stream whenever the star
Oh
donates
yeah.
bits. Those are the two. Hey, right on
Right on
time.
time.
Way to go, Blaine. Thank you for the cue.
Wow. Shout out to Blaine. Thanks for the
That
bits
was
and the
so
flatulence.
good. Thank you, Blaine. All right, as they jump into.
Who dares defy my will?
Oh, I love that Star is saying that I had already started talking about it. I like it. I like when I can predict predict what my players are gonna do, whether it's on the Rift or on the chat.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
And again, first man Jarvan. So
Jarvanari,
sorry,
yeah,
Zay.
it's Jarvanari kind of all night. God, but do you leave up a Samira that just popped off like that?
Personally, I would.
Are you
But
certain?
you never know. Ooh, and LeBlanc. Definitely, I think a ban towards Sloth. He plays a lot of LeBlanc.
Ignorant thralls.
He's
Ooh.
played it basically everywhere. I've seen him play at mid. I've seen him play at top. I've seen him play at support. I've even seen him play at APC.
Oh, LeBlanc support. Oh, so it is that is something else to have to deal with.
Yeah, there are support champions you have to deal with, and then there's LeBlanc.
So there's no Melban yet again. So we'll see if either team wants to prioritize this pick. And it's Samira getting picked up, so taken away here by Swan Zaddies, and there's the Mel.
And I don't want to reveal too much, but I think I know where the Samira's what they're planning for the Samira.
We got a Cho'Gath here, which was banned in game number 1. So we saw Muzu playing so well on that Scion, and now a comfort pick gonna be let through.
Yeah, and I see a lot of these champions being played now. These like big body champions. Like I see a lot of Cho'Gath, a lot of Scion, a lot of Ornn as well. They've been pretty popular as of recently, and I think part of the reason could be at least overall. Have you heard of the team of, or basically it's like a stream team that's playing in the European leagues?
What are they? Los Ratones?
Yeah, the Los
That's
Ratones.
what you're talking about? Yep.
Yeah, I mean when you have players like the Baus who's making headlights, he's gonna turn some heads, and whatever champion he plays, there's gonna be some people out there that say, yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing.
All right, so second rounds of bans. We got some ADCs that still need to come through.
My patience.
And I'm interested
Nasus.
with this Renata Glass support as like a pretty early pickup. Not something I feel like you see a whole lot.
Yeah, no, I don't see it played as often. Um, and it's actually, I actually do find it a bit sad because I actually do enjoy a little bit of Renata every now and then. It will be fairly difficult to play Renata into this Samira though, if she's able to reflect that what's it called? Oh God, I can't remember it now. Whatever the name of the Renata R is. Oh yes, my bad. It's Miss.
I'll
It's Miss
come back
Glass.
stronger.
Miss Glass. Thank you, Chris, for the thank you, Chris, for the correction there. Nasus and Gangplank, two bans right against the star here. And it is all top lane bans so far. I wonder if the trend will continue with one more to go.
Ah, come
Nope,
on.
Jinx here.
What's the worst that
Smart.
could happen?
Strong kind of
Jinx.
pickup here. A whole lot
Yeah,
of
it pairs really well with Renata.
yeah, not a whole lot of like priority picks. I think last week it was kind of Misfortune was the big priority pick, but has not been too evident this week. Okay, so Zangy gonna be on that Xin Zhao.
I actually quite like the Xin Zhao here. It'll give them a good amount of um it'll give them a good amount of tankiness, I guess, especially since as now with the Sona pick, you'll see a good amount of reflection since their team is mostly going to be ranged, and the only people who could really get up close to do the damage is probably this Trundle now that they've picked and the Amumu before the Samira goes in for the kills. Okay. What's it gonna be?
Two very different ideas here between the Neela and the Caitlyn. Ultimately, the Caitlyn here locked in for Rex. So from one kind of type of ADC with Samira all the way to the Caitlyn. So it's gonna be quite a different look. And on the other side, we'll see Samira again, but paired with a Sona. Not normally a combination you think of pairing together, but that's what they're gonna go with here in the bot lane.
Yeah, and it I think it could be pretty good, especially into this poke lane with the Renata Caitlyn. Besides the Blade Whirl, Samira won't really have many opportunities to really block damage. So the Sona here will definitely help out in making sure that she stays healthy. I do fear for this Cho'Gath though. The Trundle is going to be, I would assume, very, very hard for the Cho'Gath to play into.
He is a comfort pick though for Musu, so yeah, I think that'll be something we'll have to watch early. I'm curious if either of these junglers will try to make some early action happen on that top side because you don't want to fall too far behind if you're Cho, but you also don't want to you fall behind if you're Trundle. I mean, you absolutely
Yeah.
want to take advantage of the fact that you're stronger early, and so got to get those wards out and stay vigilant. Now Zangy generally likes to like take a full clear whenever they're in that jungle. I'll be curious to see if they're gonna skip camps or do anything since Xin Zhao as a jungler is certainly not too uh too much of a stranger as in terms of just going like can't like buff right into a gank or something a little bit faster. President Mew, hello in chat.
Hey, what's up?
I think
Yeah, I think Xin Zhao either way, he could just try to go for camps, especially if he thinks that these solo lanes might not be able to get the push early on. He can go for that full clear, give himself some more CS over the Amumu.
now I gotta think as I'm looking at this that the bot we talked a little bit about the jungle matchup, top lane matchup. Looking at the bot lane matchup, you got Caitlyn Renata against this Samira Sona, and it really feels like Caitlyn Renata, Rex, and Sunday are gonna have kind of perma priority here on against the Swan Zaddies. It's just a challenging matchup for Samira in general. Anytime that Samira wants to go in, Caitlyn just has options of backing away. Renata can help kind of cancel out anything that Samira wants to do. And there's not a whole lot of lockdown here from this Sona, at least until level 6. Maybe at level 6 we can see some crescendo shenanigans here from Arcane Lizard. But the
Yeah,
one thing that they do have is there's that threat if they're going to receive the gank pretty well, and if as the game goes on, Sona does scale like a crazy person. So Sona is going to be very strong going into the later parts of the game, especially with how tanky Zwan Zaddies are. Arcane Lizard on this Sona is just going to be able to kind of hover in the back and just be a permanent fountain buff to their team.
right. And I think both teams kind of have this concept. You have a good amount of picks that can work early, but then you have the champions to help supplement them as the game goes on. So there's a good amount of opportunities for some big team fights, especially over objectives. So I think we're gonna see another amazing game this game too.
You say team fights, and Demasia's Divas last game, they really liked to bring four members of the team to come and do things. It wasn't a lot of like, oh, we'll get like a pick here and there with like a group of two or three, and then take the numbers advantage. No, it was like full on, like we're bringing four, or we're bringing five. So I do think we're gonna see those big team fights play out once again. I think both sides have teams that want to fight 5v5, so this should be explosive here for game two as Zwan Zaddies takes the rift here against Demasia's Divas.
Alright. Let's see what we got here. Tier start for the Rise, that's always good to see. Definitely want to stack as soon as you can. Oh, and a request for a dance party? Will we get one?
How is Ruby? Would you, if you were in this situation, would you go dance party?
Yeah.
You would? You'd go dance
Why
party?
wouldn't I? Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Well, because right now you're just dancing alone. That can be embarrassing for some people.
Nah, he's got Tender Kitty's got the spotlight to himself, and he's loving every second of it. So if you're asking me, I think he's winning. Look at him. He's literally glowing.
Oh, nobody joining Tender Kitty's request for the
alright.
dance party.
It's alright. That dance floor is yours.
Bonnie starting off here. Ooh, Sunday Rex. First strike claimed for the Caitlyn.
And that's an extra 8 gold.
And Rex and Sunday are doing the right thing here. You trade.
Yeah.
You've got the range advantage. Ooh, and it's lethal tempo on this Caitlyn. Just built for these long, drawn-out fights early.
Yeah, an extra headshot did so much there. So pretty tame so far. Everybody's just getting their first few levels. Ooh, I actually do like the Durance shield choice for the scenario here. Just another thing to help out this heavy gold lane.
Oh, and they try to continue to press into this bot lane. Is exactly what you want to do with this Caitlyn lane. Just get ahead early, relentlessly shove your opponents in. Already close to claiming that first tower plate.
Grasp stacks, he's scaling.
Yeah, Muzu playing this out here impeccably. Somehow completely topped off on health against this Trundle here. Oh, in the bot lane, Rex is continuing to apply the pressure. Armani Salami, though, flashing forward. They're going to try to go, but Chef Zangi's here. The 2v2, but First Blood claim on the opposite side of the map. Here in the top lane, it's going to be Demasia's Divas scoring 2 as well. So that is feats of warfare already claimed.
He must have missed the kill bot lane.
Yeah, as that was going on, Caitlyn finally was able to poke down that Sona.
And once again, Musu with a 2-kill advantage. So we'll see if he can play out that capitalize on this advantage once again.
Charging forward to try to slow down the recalls, but almost paying for it with Sona's life. And now it's just kind of an awkward situation because, yes, because your ADC wasn't able to like complete an item. You weren't able to complete an item yet, so now you're just back to a health deficit after the reset. And Rex and Sunday decide to stick around even longer.
Yeah, and they feel pretty safe, especially now with Zangi being bot side. So if there's ever a need for danger to arise, they know that they have somebody nearby.
pressure that was coming out of there. As Rex and Sunday finally claim a base. And Musu continuing to just go crazy. Stacking up that grasp against Star in the top lane.
And
I'm not
those will add up very quickly.
This surprises me. When did that get placed? Why was that placed? Zangy, though, does have a pink for Dragon. And we'll start it up. Zangy loves to take these opportunistic early dragons whenever possible. Knowing that bot lane goes based, it's probably safe to go for it.
And good on Armani. Recognizes that Zangy could potentially be on the dragon, so goes with the handshake and goes for those. Oh, missed the kill.
Musu picking up another kill.
That's 3 kills on this chill death now. And I think, judging from the ult cooldown, he may have gotten the stack off that.
Flash feast, perhaps, for this Cho'Gath, who is eating well right now. 3-0, farming so well. And more plates here in the sights of this bot lane. Headshot for that Caitlyn. I'm just thinking like, okay, if I'm in this bot lane, I just gotta keep riding out to level 6, bring my jungler over, hang in there.
Yeah, I think that's what the job of the Sona is, to make sure that once they do get to level 6, they'll be able to find these opportunities with the Mumu, and hopefully get a good gank off on this Caitlyn Nada.
Here's the quiet lane here with just kind of going back and forth. It's been that way. Was that way in game 1 and kind of continuing to be that in game 2. Although here's a play, Musu having pushed in the mid lane.
Ooh, doesn't get seen.
Zangy. Oh, but Zangy just blindly going for it regardless and almost connected to Armani. Now trying to stay active. For leaning the correct side of the lane here. Nothing to be had.
The interesting choice. I'm curious to see where the snaps will work out for this Spice here. It's gonna be very fast on top of having the ult, and it can just be everywhere.
Tender looking for a turns into big trade into the mid lane. Gonna send this Rise back to base. And there's no TP, so one wave kind of effectively won for Tender Kitty there in the mid lane. Every little bit helps as they've clawed their way already up to 2,000 gold.
Yeah, even with the 4 kill advantage, it's actually not even that far in the gold lead.
Tender didn't get the base in, so it's gonna have to use teleport. Lucifer trying to prevent any sort of a clean recall here.
Ooh.
Oh, Rex and Sunday, look at this bot lane turret. A little worse for wear at under 10 minutes. Every wave, been 5 or 6 autos from this Caitlyn onto the turret. Unending pressure.
And they have to be careful about that trap that's like hiding right on top of the towers. It's a very sneaky trap.
Oh, and Armani, though, sets the sneaky trap onto Sunday. Thought a ward was going to be had, but Rex picking up a kill of their own on the backside of that one on the squishy Sona. BF sword on Caitlyn. One headshot which can quickly become 2 here with both the abilities and lethal tempo. That is gone. And it looks like, is this going to be tall for
I
Rex and
think
Caitlyn?
so.
Scout 6 quick shot.
Yeah, I think so, because with PS4, I think the only thing to build into is tall.
Armani there, hitting the bandage toss on Zangi, not realizing that this Cho'Gath was in the area.
And he's thick.
They're waiting though. A little bit of damage coming down. The first grub claim, you just really want one. There's the second one. They will claim it. Are they going to be able to get out? Oh, and Christopher using that realm warp to try and let him get in and get out, but it just was enough. Oh, a great flash crescendo! They're going to turn it around. Oh, Rex is still alive. Has to score the kill to stay alive. Oh, but can't get it. A shutdown 1-for-1 there. Arcane Lizard coming up and will end up scoring a kill. They come ahead. Swan Zaddy's bot lane. That was it. Level 6. Now they have the kills.
Oh my god. It's a party.
The flash crescendo to stop the ace in the hole from executing your ADC. Well played by Arcane Lizard.
My heart will go on. Will starts playing in the background.
When it may continue here for Blaine as Zangi and Muzu trying to take down this Trundle, and instead will turn into a feast, but oh, the turret, not enough damage.
Flash. That's another feast stack for the Cho'Gath. How many does he have now?
Get a feast shout here on the show. He's up to
5.
5 stacks.
Okay, so he still has 4 that he can use on minions.
On the opposite side of the map, Dragon here started up for the Demacia, for Swan Zaddies. It's equalizing Dragon for them. Demacia's Divas knows about this. They don't want to give it up without a fight. Both teleports coming down. Lots of summoners available. It's going to be a big fight over this Dragon. The ultimate from the Renata comes down. It's Caitlyn that strikes first, though. Dragon's claim, but Demacia's Divas have the inside position on any sort of a fight. So Dragon claimed for Swan Zaddies, but it's Demacia's Divas that end up taking 3-4-1 as the prize.
Woo! Again, another spicy fight. It seems to never end tonight. And I'm here for it.
Crescendo. Rex got a little bit too close. You can't run now from this Samira. And the Inferno for the first will claim the first death here in game number 2. It claimed so many in the first game. So just like that, you stuck around a little bit too long, and Swan Zaddies capitalized. Now Star on Trundle does have a Blade of the Ruined King to try and get through this Cho'Gath, but it's going to take a lot of baseball bat hits to kill this this gigantic void creature here.
Yeah, especially with the Cho'Gath having Bramble Vest, it will take even more.
And maybe the answer is going to be 3 members of Demacia's Divas. Is that the even more? Muzu just trying to put out damage to either stay alive or go 1-for-1, but the CC is just there, and that is a shutdown claim for Swan Zaddies. Great roam up from Mystifer out of that mid lane.
That is a fat shutdown for this Trundle.
Now, Feats haven't been, Warfare hasn't been claimed. They want this tower though, this would be it, and that will claim it for them. Triumphant. Boots now scored for Demacia's Divas.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised now that because of these upgraded boots, when you do get the boots of strength, there's actually like what feels like a boots meta. Where now you just favor having a specific type of boots because it's just so much better than the other boots, even if a champion doesn't normally want to have those kinds of boots. Like I've seen the Swifty boots, especially once you get the upgrade, being played on basically everybody.
Swifties. It's so strong to play here. Oh, and a Renata trying to handshake back to Sona. That's not a handshake you want to take. Low HP though. The trap lands. That means Rex is going to be able to score the double kill with that headshot combo. But Mystifer trying to swarm in on Rex. Trap doesn't land. Snare does, and Mystifer will find vengeance there. 2 for 2 in the bot lane.
Nice. And I gotta say, part of that was because of those symbiotic souls. He got down to the bot lane so fast to catch that Caitlyn.
Now Armani Salami has started this up. So in Jeff Dengi though, they would prefer to have this. They have Swan Zaddies has brought up Sona here. But Sunday is also here. The numbers are simply not there, and neither is the HP bar, as that Rupture Feast combination completely undoes the life of 2 members of Swan Zaddies. Muzu just gets to walk away, another full belly, and now Upset and Arcane have come up here, but there's no more fight. Trying to 1v1 mid lane versus ADC, and the ADC comes out ahead. That's what 7 kills will buy you. No built-over pacemakers or peacemakers needed.
No peace will be made. TP coming in on the bot lane for the Shogat here.
Coming behind in time for this dragon, so Muzu's here, gonna find the jungler. The rest of the team not quite close enough to follow. In Upset's lot. They'll find that Caitlyn though on the wing. And now Muzu, have you strayed too far? They're trying to buy time while this dragon is getting started. Has a lot of HP to get through. One knockup means that this Upset loss will go down. Oh, big hostile takeover there from Sunday. And now they're both going to try to walk out, but Flash Crescendo locks him in place. Armani Salami trying to follow up. Finally, Dragon has gone down. Can you score clear? Yes! The HP comes back for Muzu, meaning you're going to be able to walk away. And the Renata bailing out this Cho'Gath.
As if the Shogat didn't have enough health. Now here's a second health bar.
Sunday on that Renata. So, I mean, had like the handshakes, had the bailout, had the great hostile take, the ultimate to charm everyone. It was just a clinic there on what Renata Glass can do. Sorry, Miss Glass can do.
Miss Glass. Can't forget.
Kind of the state of this map, it looks like Demacia Divas, not unsurprisingly, has a little bit more control of the vision game right now. But Swan Zaddies has really been able to find entry points into this game. They are down 4,000 or 5,000 gold, but it's certainly not insurmountable, and they've found really good fights so far. So while we kind of go into a lull state, this is a great opportunity for them to just sort of jockey for picks, try to find some wards, see what they can accomplish as Otacon is up. I would be surprised if Demacia's Divas wants to start this, but they sure will posture for it.
They're like peeking at it. Okay, they're starting it now.
Now they do. But Sunday finding the whole team and not going to get saved there. There's no damage to follow up. So really good patience by Zaddies. They weren't showing to pick up this bot wave, and there was just a sense of that Demasia's Divas were going to get away with some sort of a sneak there. So great patience for Zwans to just wait, see if their opponents were going to start that up.
Yeah, and an amazing blade roll from Swan to block the hostile takeover.
Oh, Tender almost getting snared by this rise. Lucifer forcing that one out, and now it's really Zwan's Zaddies. They have full control of both sides of the river. We'll see which way they want to prioritize things.
Yeah, and that's good that now they're able to force that out flash.
Okay, IE. Now Infinity Edge now completed for Caitlyn. So on to 2 items. Those headshots are going to do so much damage.
Looks like it's a possibility to take here for some Zaddies.
Oh, are they gonna? They're really gonna go for it. They kind of started up, but it's Demasia's Divas that has 4 people here. They would love to try to pin them down. Now it's awkward because Otacon is at half HP. Do you want to continue to keep it aggroed while it just does so much damage to you? You have Feast available. Oh, but it's gonna reset. They're gonna dive back on it. They made the call to try to go for it. Everyone's here. Juan Zaddies is gonna move in. The ultimate comes out. Curse the Sad Mummy. Luigi's Kitty goes on a spree. It still is falling so low. It's gonna be Zangy that ends up claiming it, but now, how is the fight gonna shape out? You have this Sona that's able to do a lot in the back. It's 3 for 3 right now. Mystifer trying to output some damage, syncing up with the support here. Sona can't quite block it. It's low HP. Mystifer trying to realm warp out and will escape. So 3 for 3, but Demasia's Divas on the back. I think I heard it was the Zangy smite coming down that did score it. So well done there by this jungle for Demasia's Divas.
Wow, is that Jason Bourne or is that Mystifer? Amazing ult to get them away.
Oh, a crazy fight there for that Otacon. I cannot believe that. I'm just surprised Juan Zaddies even started it up. I thought it was going to be kind of a feint, and then after the reset, Demasia's Divas making the call to just like full send. We're going to do it. You had all 5 members clicking on that, giving up an ult of a lifetime for this Amumu, hitting 4 members with first with a Sad Mummy, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and honestly, the commitment to go for these kinds of plays, that's just how Ruby is. The moment somebody makes a call, you stick with it, and regardless of what happens, you have no regrets.
Yeah, that is like the definition of like, it's better for 5 members to just take a call, even if it turns out to be the wrong call. I'd rather have 5 people doing the wrong call together than someone not following the call at all. So with both teams fully committing and no one deviating from that line of play. And I mean, at the end of the day, the fight went 3 for 3. It was on a razor's edge, and the smite was a complete 50-50 with so many abilities it could have gone either way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And now 2 items done pretty much across the board. So no like one member is really pulling far ahead. If anything, it's Mystifer's rise here levels up on their counterpart.
Yeah, and that's definitely an advantage from the Rod of Ages, giving him an extra level.
Look at all that burst coming out from this Caitlyn, but it wasn't enough to score a kill, so they get to dive right on them. However, in the bot lane, Mystifer gonna lose their life to this gank. And Did they lose someone mid? They did, so Blaine falls to Cho Gaff here in the mid lane, and this Cho now up to quite a few, 10 of the
He's big.
CD stacks. Yeah, it is a
Yeah, he's big.
very, very large Cho.
And Sloth has been on top of being able to block every hostile takeover that's getting thrown at him. And they made such a huge difference in these little skirmishes.
That's key. Yeah, it really is making the difference. I like when I'm in a game like this because there's not a ton of like long range, high impact abilities that you really feel the need to save blade roll from, so you can really focus on it. And so far, Upset Sloth did a great job making sure that there's no high value hostile takeovers landing on their team. And a cheeky few auto attacks. I thought maybe they would start this up with Caitlyn and able to take it over the wall. But instead it's a fight. Zangy has been kicked out to behind the enemy team, and Armani, salami. I don't know how you're going to get away from this one. The first bandage toss lands. Muzu is also here on the flank, and now your jungle's down, and Zwan Zaddies are ready to start up the bear, and you immediately saw the pings mid lane. Demasia's Divas know they can't fight this. They're just going to try to push and take turret instead.
And that's yet again another stack for this Cho'Gath. I think last we saw he was at 11, he should now be at 12. Oh no, sorry, now he's at 11, my bad.
But in the bot lane, Blaine Star claiming a solo kill, and the first death here onto Tender Kitty. And so, great job and double because you pushed out 2 lanes. So yes, you gave the opponents were able to score that Baron, but at the same time, they have a lot of ground to catch up to. And this Trundle erases the bot lane turret. However, does pay for it with the life. And Sona, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get away. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3rd shot. Oh, you're still alive. Sona trying to get away. And will Arcane Lizard surviving?
Wow. I just assumed Sona was dead there.
And yeah, what a great push by Blaine's Trundle, scoring. Like, they picks up the kill or the tower in the bot lane, picks up the kill and the shutdown in the bot lane. Had pushed out obviously all of those creeps, and I think is going to be up in enough time to at least get to this fight around this dragon. So it is soul point for Demasia's Divas. Oh, Zangy, having found the enemy jungler, has gone very deep, has Sunday there to back him up, but the bandage toss lands. Armani Salami able to follow into the back line, but cannot score kill. Zangy getting the HP back, has still this Sunday backing him up, and Zangy coming out ahead. They thought that they had kind of a reverse pick, but it wasn't enough. And now it looks like surely Dragon will go, and that is so infernal for Demasia's Divas.
And that's the strength with the Xin Zhao ultimate into this team, because it has more long range. That's not the Trundle. They definitely have to get up close. Samira actually did try to flash in order to get close to Zangy, but Zangy with his own flash to get away means that whatever damage he'll take from the Samira doesn't exist.
This Trundle has gotten scary now. Ghost used for Blaine, is behind the enemy, but instead wants to go for this 1v1 onto Zangy, who's just trying to run away. Circling back to Tender Kitty. Sunday and will find the Tender Kitty, so goes down here. Three Realm Warping in the back. They're going to be cut off. Mystifer and Upset Sloth now trying to come, but it's like the pokey sticks here. You can't get too close to Rex and Sunday. They're just trying to buy time. Maybe score a crit headshot here. Mystifer kiting away. Caitlyn will, but has been bailed out. Oh, can't quite score the kill, will go down. So close to staying alive thanks to Sunday.
I said I saw the Cho'Gath walk towards the tower and I thought it was a bit terrible.
They're probably cousins or something. I'm sure they get that all the time.
Like, oh my god, you look just like your cousin Shelly.
And they're in Nexus killing mode here. One turret down. They still have some time. They certainly have this large Cho'Gath. The ultimates come down. That's low HP bars. Armani scoring one. No, make it two there. Now Star's gonna try to run down Sunday. Trying to handshake one away. Is Sunday. Flash has been burned. Pillar's gonna be up here momentarily. Oh, but Sunday. Looks like they've successfully kited this one out. And once again, Sunday chasing Tender in a bush. They'll turn it around. Goodbye.
Got a little too bloodthirsty.
So after everything settles, it was a big push for the Obvious Divas. I love this commitment to trying to knock down the turret. Because even if you, I mean, yes, like 2 members went down, but an open Nexus is just so powerful, or even just a low HP turret. Now you're on the threshold here. One misstep, and Demasia's Divas can take this game.
Yeah. And I think what Demasi's Divas needs to continue to capitalize on is this vision control. Especially in that gap between the Soma and the Renata. Renata is very close to a triple-digit vision score. And again, from the perspective of a support player, having a sizable vision gap is actually very impactful.
And kind of you have every member of Demasia's Divas on an inside track here for the nexus of Zwan Zaddies. Zwan Zaddies kind of caught outside of their base. They've fought a little bit, doing a good job of chunking down this Sunday, but Musu popping over the wall is the focus currently of Zwan Zaddies, but they've barely touched the health bar here. Sunday in the back trying to keep the team alive. One bandage toss used. Musu getting low. Now the star is here. He can chew through this HP, but just does not have the tankiness. One down. Demasia's Diva now looking to see, can they take down this turret? They're playing it patiently. They're waiting for their big to arrive. Cho'Gath is here. The turret is down. Armani finds an angle into the back line. Samira was trying to get there, but stymied. Zangi taking that option away, and now the whole team will collapse. And it looks like Demasia's Divas comes ahead in that fight and will score. Oh, we'll have to take down another turret here as it's respawned. So hold on, Arcane Lizard using the Nexus turret to their advantage. Musu just toying around with the HP bar. Oh, it ends up getting the feast anyway.
Ended the game with 14 feast stacks.
What a bombastic game too. So many big 5v5 team fights. What an incredible game number 2 there. I cannot help but think about that Otacon fight where both teams just like fully sent it on top of that objective.
Yeah, and that's the mentality you gotta have. Like we were saying earlier, if one person makes the call, just unload the entire magazines, no regrets.
Yeah, that was like talk about like it could have gone either way. It was such a coin flip. I had no idea who was going to win that fight. You had so many just high value. Everyone was hitting multiple targets with any ability that was thrown down because of the proximity of it. It could have gone either way. I'd have to check the replay, but it went the way of Demacia. I know it went the way of Demasia's Divas. I'm not sure what exactly picked it up, but what a great fight. Now we load into the lobby for game 3. It looks like we may have to wait for their opponents to finish their game. And speaking of opponents, who are they be taking on in game 3 here?
Let's find out.
So we got Demasia's Divas.
They are
Can-
playing the Yordle Yas Queens.
Yordle Yas Queens. Okay. Are there any players on the Yordle Yas Queens that we're going to be seeing in a couple weeks at the Invitationals?
Let's see. Let's see. Yes, we will see one. Dr. Fox.
Oh,
AD
Dr.
Gary.
Fox, PhD on the ADC. That's going to be always exciting to watch there. So get a little preview today. That Ruby Invitational will be in 2 weeks. And the matchup there is what? It's going to be Dr. Fox versus who ate my Pop-Tarts in the bot lane.
It was me. I needed a snack.
Oh, how dare you. It was mine. Had the pink frosting and everything. As I say pink frosting, it's like I don't think I can name a Pop-Tart flavor. There was a time in my life I think I could name a Pop-Tart flavor, but I don't think I know any off the top of my head right now, other than just like the fruits.
Yeah, like I just know them as strawberry, blueberry.
What, there was like a birthday cake one or something, right? I feel like I can envision one. It was like blue frosting with like sprinkles or something on the top of it.
That sounds amazing.
We were more of a
And I,
we were more of a toaster strudel household than a Pop Tart household growing up. So it's more what I, because
do
it had
you?
that frosting. Did you say ew?
No, so do you stick it in the toaster for a little bit to let it get a little warm and then you eat it?
The Pop Tarts?
Either one. Toaster strudels, Pop Tarts.
So the Pop Tarts, I would usually just eat directly from the pantry, like just directly from the pantry. Room temperature Pop Tarts for me, please. And then toaster strudels. They're frozen, right? Toaster strudels are typically frozen, so you would heat them up. But what I have heard of people doing, and I wouldn't do this because I kind of liked the icing kind of cold and contrasting with the warm toaster strudel. But some
Oh,
people would
okay.
take the frosting and they'd put it on top of the toaster to heat it up a little bit, which I think is a fire hazard, and B, you're like risking it melting and getting
That was
everywhere. That does not
yeah.
seem like a safe thing to do. Like, yes, maybe it warms your frosting, but there's got to be a better way, guys.
There has to be a better way, especially if you have it in like those plastic containers. You are eating plastic.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
no,
sir.
thank you. Not for me.
But I do like the concept, the warm pastry, and then you have the cool frosting. I actually like that combination.
It looks like we got the Yordle Yas Queen starting to file in here. Can you give me a prediction on the positions of these team members as they come in?
Let's see. So,
Or maybe we can scope out their prior game.
um, at least judging them by the players, I'm going to assume that Corpse Bride is either going to be mid or support, but more likely mid. I believe Darkin plays top, and I think Epic Prism plays mid and jungle. Yeah.
Crocat, thanks for the follow.
Oh,
Oh,
all this talk
Crocat
about
follows and is immediately cheering for Corpse Bride. So I don't.
all
Corpse
right.
Bride is a. Do you have games with or against Corpse Bride? Can you tell me anything about their playstyle?
Um, if I did, it may have been a while ago,
Okay.
so I don't entirely remember.
I bring it up just because I think that is a new name for me on the stream. And so I'm excited to have to be featuring Corpse Bride here. Oh, Tender says that they love Corpse Bride. A TFT buddy. Okay. All right, I'm excited to watch the play here. Do you play any TFT, Soup?
Every now and then, there've been seasons where I hop in and out. In terms of this season, it's one of those. I'll play it for a little bit and then I'll not. But I've also been enjoying the set 4.5 revival as a bit of nostalgia.
Oh, okay. So I don't play hardly. I played the very like as soon as TFT went out, I saw it. Um, but I've barely played it. And now whenever I click on like the TFT tag or tab on accident, I see like four different modes, and it's like, what is the difference between all these modes? And I was curious what the revival was. That makes sense.
Oh, it's basically just like a regular game of TFT, but it's just they brought back
Mhm.
the previous set. So this one it's 4.5.
And Soup, you have a fan here in the in the chat.
Hey, what's up?
Dr. Fox calling you out. And some pleasantries being exchanged.
I am mom with the soup,
The one and only.
the one and only Cupper Bowl.
The one and only what? Oh, Cupper
Cup.
Bowl. I was like, what did I hear? You said it all as like one word. I'm like, what's a Cupper Bowl? I have no idea. I've never heard of a Cupper Bowl before. I would go with the cup. Just because when I
Mm,
normally have soup, it's like with something else. And I like to have like a taste of the soup. But I still want a full meal elsewhere.
yeah, are you a big soup person?
You know, I don't know that I call myself a big soup person, but I will rarely, but I would never say no to soup.
Mm, yeah, I felt that.
And I feel like I can't continue having this conversation with you in particular. I'm like,
What do
I
you
I
mean?
because every time I say soup, I feel like I'm talking about you. I just can't say no to you, soup. Just
Yeah,
whatever.
you want me in a cup, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. We gotta move away. Abort, abort. All right. Cast is ready. Players are all in the lobby. Hopefully we get going soon for Yordle Yas Queens. Let me get there. Did I update the stream? No. Yordle Yas Queens. Let's make sure we got the right. Is it with a K? It's gotta be with a K, right? Oh, it's with a Q? Okay. How offended would everyone be if I had a K? I'll put it with a Q. The way it is on stream here. And then who is the bot lane of the Yordle Yas Queens? Is that so that would be Dr. Fox and oh Sixth Blade. All right.
Yeah, my guess would either be Sixth Blade or maybe Corpse Bride.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've played many games with them, with any of the players from Yordle Yas Queens, and I think even if I did, it was probably like one or two. But besides that, I do know that we do see Dr. Fox on stream pretty often, so we kind of know what his game's about.
Ooh, as we team's gonna switch sides here. So first pick wanting to be claimed by the Yas Queens, which means they'll give up the counter pick to Demasia's Divas. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like one side has an advantage compared to the other, specifically like on League Night or for the Ruby meta?
Um, I definitely want to think that at least my opinion of it is that it's always good to have the counter pick, especially since you'll have um since you have a lot of these players who have wide champion pools, once you see their whole team, whoever's last pick typically will tailor that pick to kind of round out everything, whether it's complementing what you already have, like what your team has already combined with and picked, or if it's something that can work against the enemy team directly.
It makes me think like there's so many cool stats available on the CMSA esports like website that we have access to, but I don't think that like win rate like per side is something that is tracked. That would be really interesting to see if like the win rates that we experience in like the CMSA esports league, if they deviate at all from like what you would expect to see in like either solo queue or like semi-pro play, or just how important is it to have either counter pick versus first pick, or camera side advantage or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, all I'll say though is at least when it comes to Ruby, or even more specifically, at least the games that I've played, in terms of side selection, we kind of just don't care.
Just whoever gets into
It's
the lobby first.
yeah. And then,
See,
I mean, if ever there's like a request that they want a
yeah.
specific side, I usually don't mind.
See, I
But
was
at least personally.
I, I was not with when I played in the league. When we'd load in, I would always tell everyone to like go to a certain side that I wanted to kind of have our like last pick available. And so I would like, well,
Mhm.
let's just wait here. If they tell us to move, great, but let's kind of like line up over here and then see what
See
happens.
what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also just kind of what happens most of the time.
Armani Salami, thank you for the follow. I very much appreciated watching all of your bandage tosses in the last game. You had some very, very clean engages on that Amumu to make that game exciting.
Yeah. Oh, so one thing I have seen recently is that I've seen a lot of people who will mod specific sounds into League of Legends.
Oh.
So there was one sound effect I saw where it was an Amumu, and whenever he connects his bandage toss, it's Michael Scott saying parkour. And I don't know, I just think it's
That would be
quirky.
great. That is definitely quirky. I that's I'm trying to think what other sound effects I'd want to attach to certain champions.
Oh, my favorite one, I mean, it's not specific to a champion, but my favorite one is the metal pipe sound whenever there's a Heartsteel proc.
Yes, that
It's a
would be good.
classic one.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's even some visual ones too. I know a friend of mine who one of his mods, whenever they play Briar, she's wearing Lightning McCrocs.
What?
Yeah, they're the Lightning McQueen Crocs. The Lightning
Yeah,
McCrocs.
that's funny.
It's
I
so funny.
I can remember when when League was when I first got into League in its infancy. Yeah, I played a lot of different computer games, and like modding games was just like a thing, and I didn't even realize that like modding in certain capacities was like against the TOS or whatever. I think the skin mods and sound mods are generally fine though, but I remember thinking, oh, I should mod the game to make it look more interesting, and and
Who
so
dares
I
defy
went
my
on
will?
to whatever website you find the modded skins are, and I remember like at the very top was something that just made me nope out of there immediately, and it was a skin. It was a skin for
Shall I hand in my
Gragas,
badge and
and it was a
rifle as well?
reverse Gragas skin where it
Oh,
was a headless torso that would throw Gragas heads around as barrels, and I was like, I've seen enough. I don't want to mod my game
My
anymore.
patronage is
I don't
irrelevant.
need that kind of
Leave your
karma,
few
and
on.
I was out.
I I hate and I love that.
Well, so
Yeah.
well, speaking of hate and love, I feel like Demacia's Divas may love what they see, and that is no Ari ban in this game. And of course, they have the
Yeah.
plan right away they're going to pick up Ari for themselves.
And we do see them banned now instead of being let through.
And Tender Kitty saying that Corpse Bride, a TFT friend of theirs, and now we've got this is the mid lane matchup, and Corpse Bride going to be playing on a champion that Tender Kitty very familiar with.
Yeah. I have no I have no doubts though that Tender Kitty can definitely play into the Ari. I think as a one trick, one of the advantages is that you know how to play with your champion, but also how to play against your champion.
And I think that that's going to be an advantage here for Tender Kitty going to that, or Tender Kitty going for that Veigar pickup to counter this Ari. Definitely can scale well. I know in the mid, like in between invitational, I had the pleasure of playing against uh, uh, Tender Kitty, and Veigar was one of the picks that really gave our team a hard time playing. He plays it very, very well.
Yeah. It just makes having this mobile Ari just not be so mobile anymore. Ooh, Pike ban. Yeah, I don't see Pike very often.
Oh,
Either picked or banned.
yeah. And a Shen here, so Muzu playing
Quite strong.
another different look. That Cho'Gath definitely worth the ban here. A very, very strong performance for Muzu. So, but now on a little bit
Yeah.
of a champion that can move around the map and make things happen. I always like seeing a Shen played because yeah, it can help out the rest of the map, but then you have to be so careful. Like if you don't have teleport up, can you really get away with it? Sometimes
What's
yes,
the worst that
sometimes
could
no.
happen?
Right.
So if it's war, well, what is it going to be? It looks like Ambessa is the matchup up there. Ambessa versus Shen in the top lane. So bot lanes here. So the Jinx, Nyla, and Samira all banned. So both teams saving their bot lane for the second round. I feel like this is not something you normally see.
No, usually I'll see AD carries picked in the first round of picks.
A Yumi? Sunday.
Hmm.
So active in the first two games. You were commenting on the vision score. This is what I want to take my track of when I feel like Yumi just inherently is has a difficult time getting those like quality wards out and keeping the ward coverage up. So Sunday did such a phenomenal job for Demasia's Divas warding in game 1 and 2. I'm curious to see what the strategy is here for Yumi, and there it is.
Let's go! I'm sorry I had to pop off.
You
Thresh pick.
have
I'm ready.
to. Thresh has been picked up here for the Yas Queens.
Even if you're not doing it for me, just say that you're doing it for me, so I'll be happy.
I'm sure they're doing it for you. I'm sure that they've got Dr. Fox and who is it going to be on this? Darkin on Thresh? Doing it just for you. And Square Wave, is this true? Is Sunday a Yumi one trick? Is this true? I feel like I need to fact check this. You know what? I'll let the gameplay speak for itself. That's what I'll go
Yeah.
for.
I do love this Zeri being paired with the Yumi. It's such a strong combo. I was even thinking that maybe there's a potential for a Twitch to go along with this Yumi, but either way, I think Twitch and Zeri work very well with this magical cat.
Yeah, I think this is like the one where if you can get into the late game, you are just going to be so mobile and impossible to kill. There is a decent amount of lockdown for the Yas Queens, but they have to connect with this Zeri Yumi, who's just going to be moving around very, very quickly. So, okay, teams are locked in. Tell me, like, how do you feel like these two teams have drafted?
I definitely think that the Demasia's Divas, they have a clear plan of what they want to do. They want to look for team fights. They want to scale to the late game. With the Yordle Yas Queens, it's actually pretty flexible. They have good champions for picks, and they have good champions for team fights. So they have a lot more flexibility on how they want to play. It's just a matter of can they find those opportunities to either go for a good pick or pick a good team fight. So yeah, I think it's more going to matter if the Yas Queens can think to themselves like what's better at the time to get an advantage. Is it better to go for a pick? Is it better to go for a team fight? And whatever they decide, they run with it and they stick with it.
I definitely feel like this is going to be a slower paced game for Demasia's Divas. Like they have in games 1 and 2, we've seen a lot of early activity from Zangi. Now Zangi is on that Diana, so can certainly do things early. But again, Diana likes to kind of get to level 6 as quickly as possible, and uh, literally everyone on the side of Demasia's Divas just wants to scale into this late game. And so I think for the first time, you're seeing a team with the Yas Queens that can perhaps look to try to exploit Demasia's Divas just lack of an early game. And
Yeah.
if I'm them, I'm definitely trying to figure out how can we get some early dragons, how can we get some or get all 6 grubs or something to slow down the scaling from Demasia's Divas.
Yeah, and that's actually why I call me biased. This might very well just sound biased. I think this is actually where I think the Thresh is going to come very handy because for one, the Thresh will have a lot more prio roaming since it's not that he doesn't need to be in lane, but he can leave Kaisa alone for a little bit to deal with the Zeri Yumi because you have a strong top side, right? You have Mbessa and you have Warwick. So he can get those early roams, especially if he wants to look for something like the grubs right when they spawn. I think being able to play topside is going to be a very good concept that I think the Yas Queens could try to explore and exploit. Oh, and he's rocking the janitor. Good choice. I love it.
Janitor Thresh coming out here. Well, Darkin, the eyes are on you.
My eyes are on you.
Here, we'll just go ahead and put it on the Thresh cam. We'll just do a first person POV here as Thresh is on the map.
Yeah, he's had a long day at work. He just wants to hop onto the Rift and do some things. And he did right away go for this Q start, which I actually do kind of like, especially into the Yumi matchup. If he can get a cheeky hook early on with this Kaisa, it can give them an advantage.
Tender Kitty calling
Okay.
for the dance party once again.
Please, someone join him.
Oh, Corpse Bride moving up. Here we
Oh.
go.
Let's
The-
go!
The dance party is officially underway here in game number
Finally.
3 between the Yas Queens and the Divas. And the show of sportsmanship. Oh, they give the auto attack
There
back.
we
Being
go.
a true true sportsman there.
And that's what it's all about.
Rex being a little skeptical there of that near brush, as you rightfully should be. Ooh, and for the first time here, we got a top to bottom clear from one of the junglers. So they want to play around this bot lane with Zeri and Yumi. Doesn't have to be kills, but just buying them recalls, buying them kind of a relief of pressure can be huge to let Rex and Sunday scale. backing right off. It's a Epic Prism and Darkin win the race to level 2 here.
Yep, and good patience from Rex. Just gonna stand back here. There's really no reason for me to step up. Get hooked.
Oh, and there's Death Sentence connecting here. Six-bladed Muzu fighting down. Both already starting to get low here. And Dr. Fox is actually going to invade Chef Zangy. And so Diana cannot go bot lane early and provide any help. In fact, it is going to be the Yas Queens. Oh, but good poke back by Rex. Oh, Death Sentence just going wide there. But they did take some HP, even more HP off of Rex and this Yuumi, so they have to continue respecting.
Yeah, but I think now that the Yas Queens know that they can do that, I think it will definitely give them a bit more confidence in this lane. Even if it's the other lanes, because now they know that like if they can get the push down in bot lane, they don't have to worry too much if the other lanes are pushed up. We're pretty tame so far. I think this has been our most tame game so far.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, heck, we're at 4 minutes and first blood has not occurred. Six-bladed though wants to change that and scores the kill against Demasia's Divas.
My bad, I just casted Hearthstone.
Now the awkward moment where Mbessa couldn't quite crash the wave, and so Musu, despite being solo killed, will have the wave advantage. Epic Prism and Darkin really playing aggressive on this bot lane.
Yeah.
Darkin and Epic trying to escape, but Zangy and the whole team have found out. Corpse Bride's arriving, hitting a great charm to buy some spacing and time for Dr. Fox on this Warwick to move in. Fearing 2, not quite enough. Corpse Bride kiting forward, getting low. The HP bars, 1 kill, and now 2 hit kills scored for Rex. Coming over that wall, make it 3. Demasia's Divas ends up collapsing.
Wow. Good recognition from the Divas to say that, okay, we can, especially since during the start of that, the Kaisa was in a very awkward spot. Ooh.
Dragon started up. Having to be dropped though. So low. Zangy going back with this Yuumi, but Epic Prism finds them right as the recall was about to finish, and that's 2 kills countered for Yas Queens.
Wow, the Void Seeker will seek those kills.
Okay, that was a big, important connection for Epic Prism. And now 2 kills on this Kaisa, come to 2 kills for this Zeri, so not going to allow Rex on this area to run away with the gold lead quite yet, although the BF sword is a great first back for an ADC.
Yeah. I am a little sad though. I was hoping we would see the Hex Flash coming out from Darkin, as I am an avid Hex Flash enjoyer. can always go for those cheeky little plays with a Hex Flash. One of the things that I like to do is in the bot lane bushes or even like the top lane bushes, I'll Hex Flash from one bush to the other, and you could do it completely out of vision.
And for the first time, and I love it when the supports can make a play like that, especially when you're the ADC. You kind of start to put on your acting chops and pretend like you're a little more vulnerable than you really are. Speaking of vulnerable, you got an Mbessa in the top lane here. Sixblade trying to use all those mobilities to either score a kill or just escape. Buys time though for Corpse Bride to arrive. Corpse Bride will correct Chef Zengi there. Getting 1 for 1. Darken, Death Sentence lands. It's a full commit. Flay comes back. Epic Prism moves forward, has the isolated Q. Couple more autos. Are they going to be able to get in range? Barrier used. And do Yumi Zeri get away? Great Death Sentence there landed by Darken. Tons of pressure now being applied, and it continues to come. Dr. Fox has the movement speed, but Zangi's here for the counter. They're not forcing anything. Void Seeker goes just wide. Oh, Darken and Epic.
Ooh!
Death Sentence
attempt.
just missing. And Chef Zangi will help support Rex with a base here. Tender Kitty trying to score a kill. Instead, Dr. Fox is there, moving their way around the event horizon. Has the fear available. Dashing forward, but into the waiting arms of Zangi, who'll moonfall and get the kill.
And this Veigar is actually surprisingly tanky with that component for the God of Ages.
Good flash there by Tender Kitty. Corpse Bride trying to go for the assassination with Darken's Thresh here to support. But escaping one. And Bessa here now trying to get behind. Has the ult. Will land it. And that's a confirmed Shen trying to use Stand United. But it's not enough of a shield to save Tender Kitty. And the Gas Queens, they may be down a kill, but they're up in gold. However, on the bot side, Rex will take advantage of that 1v2. And now they have open rain onto this tower.
And I think if you're Rex and Sunday here, you guys feel very comfortable playing with one another. I think throughout all these games so far, they've been pretty in sync.
Yeah, and you have to punish anytime you're leaving a carry alone for that extended amount of time. I love Darken trying to get onto the roam, and unfortunately, there's just not a lot you can do as an ADC. Sometimes you just get run down trying to farm, and you can only play so safe. So there is a Kraken Slayer that is completed for Kaisa, but look at this, Darken just continuing to say you're on your own, being active on the map. It's a 4v3. One Void Grub was claimed, but it looks like this fight is going the way of the Yordle Yas Queens. It's a 4v3, and they'll be able to secure the following 2 Void Grubs. So they'll get up 5 Void Grubs to 1 here.
And the Yas Queen's top side is very, very strong now. So it's still going to be very difficult for the Kaisa to play this lane with Darken being roaming as much as he is, but there's a very promising factor in the Ahri and in the Mbessa.
Oh, and Zangi's here. And they wanted just the 1 kill on Epic, and it looks like they're going to try to find 2 kills. A second onto Darken. Flashing away, though, and again, Corpse Bride there with a charm to help out, but the chase is on. Rex going forward, but instead patiently smartly deciding to go back, claim some farm. That does mean, however, that the dragon is going to be started up for Demacia, as Divas are trying to notch it up at 1 dragon apiece here. Play use. Oh, the Death Sentence doesn't quite connect. Trying to run down because Kaisa is in range. Oh, but instead just getting poked all the way down. Great kiting there by this Zeri. And as you saw, Zangi scoring the takedown on the dragon. So 1-1.
Yeah. And we have the Zeri now with this Yuntal. Actually, how does that work with her autos?
I think it still is going to count as an on attack. Yeah, the Q, her auto attack or whatever, is, I don't know the name of it. I'm assuming that ability has a name, and it's not just auto attack, but it's going to be an.
Make that joke.
Oh, were you? Oh, Luigi's Kitty getting charmed into the turret. Tender, now you're in trouble, and that means that the duress is going to take you to gray screen. And so far, Corpse Bride finding the better here, and look at this top lane turret soon will be falling. As Six Blade claims all but 1 plate in the top lane.
It's the tower's so low. My goodness, I can't even see the health bar on that anymore.
And Dr. Fox here to make sure blue team will claim that first turret. So now it is all about the neutral objectives to see who will gain. The triumphant boots are continuing to dive, but Muzu gonna live. Chef Zangi coming in just in the nick of time. Standing united as well comes through. So 2 kills, Zangi just there to score. 5-2 on this Diana.
Yeah, good patience from Muzu to flash when he did. I think if he had flashed sooner, they may have been able to go for the
Dark
kill.
Hand.
What a death sentence!
Right as the minion was dying, but you have exhaust, you have barrier, you have heal. It's just too much to burst through. Corpse Bride now trying to arrive. Corpse Bride going to the grave. 3 kills for this Rex Yumi combo. Our Zeri Yumi combo. Rex and Sunday are huge. They have the turret. They have 8 kills. They're about to be a force on this map.
They want this 3-0. They want it so badly. Wow. That was amazing. Amazingly played by the both of them.
Dr. Fox, we're just running down Tender Kitty here in the mid lane and cannot escape. So another kill claimed for the Yas Queens. Down in kills overall, but the gold. This is the closest we've seen so far in week 8.
And when you see how rich these bounties are, having only a 2k gold lead actually doesn't seem like that much. It's mostly on this Zeri now, so if they can find an opportunity to kill Rex, they'll basically equalize the gold.
Yeah, that's going to be easier said than done, though. The one nice thing is you have a little bit of time where these summoners are down. So you see 4 members trying to collect said bounty here for the Yas Queens. Lantern throw immediately turned around. Rex, you can chase so easily. Going legendary. And then just gets to lean in to Six Blade. And Bessa, though, has the mobility to try to run. You have this Corpse Bride behind. Charm connects. Dr. Fox trying to get close enough for the fear. It just doesn't matter. This Yumi Rex. Too strong. Muzu arrives. They get to siege down the mid. Six Blade. They finally find it. The shutdown lands. And that was all that they needed. Ekmic Prism here now. Could they even score more? Both shutdowns go to the way for Yas Queens.
What is happening? What is happening?
Huge fight, 2 shutdowns. I thought it was going to be just a wipe for Demasia's Divas, but the damage just started coming through from that juiced up tower and all the members of the Yas Queens that kept arriving to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and this should be the rift here for the Yas Queens.
And I would not be surprised if we see it ran back here on Dragon. So the question is, are they going to try to give up this second Dragon and play for something else, or are they going to try to make a play for it? I feel like they almost have to give it up. They're just not in a position here, as Demasia's Divas have brought everyone.
Yeah, and they already have the Rift Herald, so they have another resource that they could use to kind of make sure that whatever advantage they can get off this dragon won't be as surmountable.
Rex, Zaggy, and Sunday are here in the bot lane to harass Six Blade away. But on the opposite side of the map, they're going to go ahead and use that Rift Herald. Dr. Fox going to drive it into this top turret. Muzu soon to be without a turret in the top lane here. They'll see if they can get a second hit. Tender Kitty is moving up. Oh, but a great movement there. Forward by Corpse Pride to land a charm. And that means that they will connect. Oh, there's no charge available quite yet for Shelly. Now it's going to try, but Muzu takes it down. But look at how much damage they've done to this turret. But Muzu turning it back onto Dr. Fox. Zangi's here now. Trying to follow Darkin, one away. Moonfall comes down. Sand United now on the back of Chef Zangi. There's the Shen. So they will find 1 kill, make it 2. In the opposite side of the map, though, Rex and Sunday were able to take down the defender. Ari down, or who was down there defending? Mbessa.
Mbessa, yeah.
So it was, they do claim that tier 2 tower in response.
Oh, I actually really do like the Serpent's Fang being picked up by the Mbessa here. When you have the Shen, who has his shielding, you have Diana with her W, you have the Zeri Yumi, the Serpent's Fang will be very valuable.
Oh, and with as close as this game is, I can't help but think that if you are Yas Queens, you still feel like your window, you need to be taking advantage of it before Zeri is able to make a huge impact. I was going to say with 3 items, but lo and behold, there it is. Infinity Edge, Yuntal, Runan's Hurricane. You cannot ignore Rex and Sunday in these fights. Ignore them at your peril, Yas Queens. This is now a puzzle you've got to figure out how to solve. Demasia's Divas tentatively moving forward. Darkin just trying to push them back. It looks like it's just going to be another 50-50 fight. Rex and Demasia's Divas opening up on the back line. They'll score the first kill, and now they're kiting forward. 2 kills. Is there going to be more? Rex can chase. A penta is possible here. Going forward. Triple kill. It's not going to count. That is an unofficial 3, though, here. And ultimately, though, it is going to be a shutdown for this Ari. Man, it's exactly what you want. A clumped-up team as a Zeri with Runan's Hurricane. Anything can happen.
Right. Anything can happen. And I think they also got the Otacon, too.
So Otacon, was it the Petals Otacon, and they were able to collect them all on the backside of that? Epic Prism going forward into Zangi Yumi, but it's also Shen. Dr. Fox here trying to help, but Epic has now been slain. They're backing away. Zangy can't quite hunt them down. Another death sentence lands, and that's going to be into the turret. Zangy likely to fall here. Shut down going to Ambessa. And look at this. They'll try to pick up a second, but Yumi. Helping them get away. They're going to chase, but that might just be chasing into this Zeri here. Dr. Fox going forward. I don't know that there's enough CC, and there's Zeri arriving. Immediately using that lightning crash, and Dr. Fox will go down.
I always think it's funny to me whenever there's a Zeri attached to like a teammate that's in a very bad situation, and all I can think about is the "this is fine" meme of the dog in the burning building.
Oh, the commitment to diving onto Rex. They get him broken here, and it goes to Rex Epic Prism. But they just takes so much commit just to drop Zeri. And that just allows the rest of the team. They're not just getting pushed over here. You've got a Veigar with Roa that is very well stacked at this point in the game. Darkin trying to just flay them into the turret. Dr. Fox is here, but there's only so much you can do. A second death sentence landing, and that means Infinite Duress can come down. Sunday on this Yumi wants to reattach, sticking out there with the auto attacks, and now safe and sound right next to Tender Kitty.
This is fine.
Corpse Bride teleporting behind. May not be safe for much longer. You just know it's going to happen here. Who do they give the kill over? Ambessa will end up claiming it. So all told, only a 5,000 lead here for Demasia's Divas. And yes, they're kind of knocking on the door here. They have Soul. They have a great vision. They're pushing into Yas Queen's base. It's just so challenging because you have to get a pick onto this Zeri or hope to fight when they're nowhere near you. And that is, I've been impressed with their ability to take down Zeri. Honestly, yes, it's only the 3 deaths, but they've come in big fights where there's lots of potential counterplay. So they've been able to kind of figure it out. They just need it to happen more cleanly here in the next fight.
Right, and there's now this Baron that they want to contest over. But they also have this bot wave being cleared by the Ahri right now, so she'll need some time before she can join up with the rest of the team.
Yeah, Ahri showing on the map. They're trying to see, has Baron been started? Now they know. Baron's at half. Chef Zangy has been so good all night in this situation, being able to claim the clutch kind of Baron. It looks like there's no real steel contest here. Baron taken out. Zeri untouched through this fight. So now it is all of Yas Queen's just trying to get away. Darkin pulling one member of Demasia's Divas, making sure no one can chase this Ahri. But ultimately, Ahri just too mobile for Zangy here. But they do have the Baron. Oh, Rex.
And Prism will get away.
Dr. Fox in that event horizon. Darkin trying to move forward, looking for a Flay. Plays on a Tender, but knowing that there's no Zeri and Yumi here, they definitely are looking for something, but Demasia's Divas knows they need to be careful without the 16 kills of their bot lane duo.
Yeah, and while all this was happening, the Zeri was able to siege onto the top tower.
It's a temporary 4v3 in the top lane, but Ronin's Hurricane just providing so much AoE damage. Hardly anyone able to touch Rex in the situation. Death Sentence going wide. Corpse Bride not able to find anything over the wall with a charm. And so they single-handedly send everyone on Yas Queens packing.
All headed to the fountain to heal up now. They've got the waves now peeking at their Nexus towers.
Oh, and a big kill. There's some vengeance there as Tender Kitty able to score one against Corpse Bride. And now with a numbers advantage, I wouldn't be surprised to see Demasia's Divas really trying to press into this base on the next time around. There is a dragon up. That will be Soul. And they have 2 open lanes.
Yeah. Ooh, can we get a stat check on the Veigar?
Let's get a stat check on the Veigar. So we have
Whoa,
phenomenal
286.
power. Yes.
That is a lot. That is a lot. He will start bursting the tanks even.
626 ability power here for this Veigar. And Darkin, you are very far forward. But somehow gonna live with just
Gets
a
out of there.
little bit of HP. And they're gonna have to give away this this dragon here.
Yeah. I think what the Yas Queens can do is they can hermit in their base and just get the gold because they actually have a pretty good wave clear with Ambessa and Ari. So if they can just stay in the base for a little bit to get the money that they need in order to get full build.
Well, they have found some sort of a pick onto Tender Kitty here, who has fallen low in that top side of the jungle. Do lose their jungler in return, though, so it's 1-for-1 right now. That means they are without the big suppression. Zangy now going to the back line to just buy time and preventing anyone from diving onto Rex, who just gets to open up onto the team, getting 3 easy kills, and now diving forward, looking for a 4th. This is going to be game, though, as Demasia's Divas call their shot, get onto the stream, go 3-0 for the night. Congratulations to Demasia's Divas.
And that's how you send off this last week. Amazing play.
With just the exclamation point there coming out of Demasia's Divas. A few of these team members will be in the Invitational, so I look forward to seeing what they can accomplish at that Invitational in 2 weeks.
Yeah, keep an eye out for him.
Soup, thank you so much for casting alongside me this week.
Yeah,
Glad you're able to make a
happy
return.
to be here.
Kind of bookending our season. We had you week early on in week 1, and now here you are, week number 8. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for
thank you.
watching. That was it. That was the end of regular season play. Now we have just 3 more weeks of the Invitationals. All the matchups have already been announced. If you're interested in possibly being a community caster for one of those events, and you please let me know. Reach out to me on Discord. We'll try to see. We'd love to have as many community members involved as we can for those broadcasts. I think that's it. Again, thank everyone for watching. Have a great day and